Mummies Revenge Unleashed. Ununiversal Monsters, The Mummy E3. Beneath the watchful eye of a pale moon, the city sprawls, its ancient minarets piercing the night sky. Within a dimly lit chamber, an elderly man kneels beside a pool of water. Torches flicker, casting long shadows that dance across the walls adorned with solemn lion statues. His brow is furrowed in concentration as he extends a trembling hand towards the water's surface. His eyes betray a deep-seated unease. Elsewhere, a man in a suit stands before a blazing fireplace, his expression grim as he utters, "Into the fire with you for Helen's sake and my son's sake." The man reels backward, a searing pain erupting from his chest, leaving him momentarily stunned. He crumples to the floor. Meanwhile, surrounded by a swirling vortex of shadows, the man in the chamber sits in quiet meditation, a stern look etched upon his face. The other man enters the room. He stops short, a flicker of apprehension in his eyes. The seated man fixes him with a piercing gaze, his voice firm as he commands, "Bring me the scroll." Walking through the bustling streets, the woman's thoughts drift back to recent events. "I don't understand why you've stopped talking to me," she says, her voice laced with concern. "Did something happen last night?" She remembers the museum, waking up in Frank Wemble's house and being frightened. She recalls meeting Ardetha Bay, but a fog seems to cloud her memories. Passing a window, she sees her own reflection, her expression tinged with sadness. "I miss you," she whispers. "You've been my friend since I was a child." Determination hardens her features as she decides, whatever's happened, maybe Ardetha Bay has answers. A man stands at the door and says, "Miss Grosvenor, you are expected. You work for Sir Joseph, don't you? Why are you here?" A woman ignores him and walks past. "I serve those who deserve my loyalty," the man says. "He is waiting for you." A close-up shows the woman's eyes wide with fear, and she whispers, "Please don't make me do this alone. Please, talk to me." She turns the door handle, and with a protesting creak, the door swings open. The man welcomes the woman, saying, "Welcome, Ms. Grosvenor. Please, sit down." The woman replies, "Who are you? Why do you keep acting so familiar towards me?" The man says, "I will explain. However, it will be more comfortable for you if you sit." "I'd rather stand," she retorts. "If you insist," the man says. He gestures to the pool of water and states, "Do you see into the pool? There are memories there, a story unfolding, a story of love and death." She looks at the incense and thinks to herself, "The incense, the smell is familiar." As if falling through water, she sees multiple images of herself accompanied by whispers of Ankhezen Amun. Startled, she awakens, the word "wake up" floating in the air. A servant tells a priestess, "Your man is here." Annoyed, the priestess states, "Do not spread heretical gossip, Bennu. Priestesses of Isis aren't allowed to have men." Bennu responds, "Isis is a kind god. I don't think she'd mind as long as you kept loving her." The priestess says, "I don't want to hear any more of this. Return to your room." "Of course, princess," Bennu replies. The priestess wonders, "Is this who you were, who you are?" In the bustling courtyard of an ancient temple, a man stands, his gaze fixed on the horizon. His name is whispered, Imhotep. A woman approaches him, her voice laced with urgency. "Not here," she cautions, glancing around. "There are too many eyes." He responds, "I know a place that's more private." As they walk together, he gently touches her face and confesses, "I counted the hours until we could meet again. I cursed the gods that made the day so long." In a secluded chamber, they embrace. The woman whispers, "Bennu knows about us. I don't know how she found out." Imhotep assures her, "You are the daughter of the pharaoh. Bennu is from a peasant family. No one will listen to her." Despite his reassurances, she remains worried. "It's not Bennu." "I'm worried about." Nearby, a man coughs violently, his body covered in sores. Observing him, the woman remarks, "She's the third who's fallen sick this week. It's as though the gods are angry." A woman lies on a table, her body covered in sores. A group of concerned individuals surrounds her. Standing apart, the modern woman stares with wide eyes, uttering, "Plague." Imhotep kneels beside the ailing woman, his face etched with anguish. "I won't let you die," he pleads, holding her close. "I won't," she weakly whispers. "Shh, my love. Despair fills Imhotep as he declares, "Death is only the beginning." In a grand chamber filled with statues, Imhotep retrieves a scroll, his voice filled with desperate resolve. "I cannot live without you, Ankhe-es-Anamun," he vows. "I swear it, you will live again. The scroll of Thoth has power over the living and the dead. It will bring you back to me." The woman watches him, a mixture of awe and trepidation in her eyes. Turning to her, Imhotep says, "You made me love her. If what I'm doing dooms my soul, so be it." With scroll in hand, Imhotep cries out, "Ankh-es-Anamun, I call your soul back from the underworld." The modern woman watches, aghast, as a spectral form rises from the sarcophagus, an eerie wail filling the air. The mummy's wrappings seem to writhe as the resurrection begins. Suddenly, guards burst into the chamber, weapons drawn. "Stop!" one shouts. Another rushes forward, arms outstretched, yelling, "Get back! Don't touch her!" They are too late, however. The spectral form hovers above the sarcophagus. As the guards gasp in horror, the mummy's wrappings begin to unravel, a chilling sigh escaping from within. "No!" Imhotep cries out in anguish. Standing before the pharaoh and his guards, Imhotep kneels in supplication. The pharaoh proclaims, "I loved my daughter, but I would never spit in the faces of the gods for her." Imhotep retorts, "Then you did not love her enough." The pharaoh's face darkens as he declares, "You know the punishment for your crime. You will be buried alive in a nameless grave, and the scroll of Thoth with you." Anubis, jackal-headed god of the afterlife, presides over the scene. His voice echoes through the chamber, "Your soul will be cursed to wither and die, and never know the joy of reincarnation." The woman looks up, aghast as the vision unfolds. Trapped within his linen wrappings, Imhotep screams into the darkness, the image of Anubis looming over him. Disturbed by the horror she is witnessing, she thinks to herself, "Imhotep, how could you?" Seated across from the woman, the man says, "It was unholy to use the scroll of Thoth to bring me back to life. You never should have done such a thing," she replies. "I couldn't live without you." He says, "No other man has suffered like I have suffered for you, my love." The man continues, "But you are here now. You have returned to me." She caresses the side of his face and says, "Through the eyes of another person, yes, I am here. For thousands of years my soul lived in different bodies until I found my way back to you." A voice cries out, "No, that's my body, that's me, you can't have it." The woman screams, "Give it back." A voice warns, "Be careful, your soul is not yet settled in this body." As the woman clutches her head, she thinks, "She's fighting me." Light emanates from her eyes. The man cries, "Ankh-es-Anamun." She runs desperately, saying, "No, I'm not her." The woman flees through the city streets. She shouts, "Wait, please, I need to see him. Leave me alone." She turns a corner and slams into a wall. The woman cries, "Get out of my head. All this time I didn't know who I was, but now I know." She peers around the corner and thinks, "I need to see Dr. Muller." Helen enters a room where Frank is standing. Surprised, she asks, "Frank, what are you doing here?" He somberly replies, I have some sad news. My father passed away last night." Helen says, "I'm so sorry. What happened?" Frank tells her, "It's strange. It seemed like he died of natural causes, but the scroll of Thoth has gone missing." He puts his hand on her shoulder, stating, "You need to be careful. There's some evil at work here, Helen." She grabs his collar and asks, Do you know what killed my father?" Frank recoils, and Helen says, "I have to. Please, leave me alone." Walking into her bedroom, the woman thinks to herself, "I'm so afraid. You've been with me since I was a teenager, and I thought you were my friend, but now I'm not sure." As she looks in the mirror, a reflection appears. She asks, "What do you want?" The reflection answers, "I want to live." The woman says, "To live?" The reflection responds, "I want to live as a whole person, not a disembodied ghost trapped in the mind of a girl. I want to return to my love, my Imhotep, and reclaim the time we lost together." The reflection says, "If you don't surrender this body to me willingly, Helen, then I will take it by force." Terrified, the woman screams, "No!" The mirror shatters and the woman collapses onto the bed in a fetal position, overwhelmed. Frank's father says, "Frank, is Helen all right?" Frank responds, "No, I don't think she is." Frank's father says, "I was afraid of this. I have something that may help." He presents Frank with a necklace featuring a small statue saying, "It's a token of the god Isis." A small thing, but we need all the help we can get to fight this evil. Frank says, "Not sure what good this will do." Frank's father tells him, "The symbols of gods have power in Egypt, my boy. There is a great evil that wants to possess Helen. She cannot resist it, so the next time it calls to her, we'll let her go and follow." Hours later, the woman sleeps in her bed and whispers, "Ankh-Is an Amun." Frank sits in a chair next to a fire, turning the statue necklace over in his hands and whispers, "Ankh-Is an Amun." A dark, swirling vortex appears in the doorway and Frank shouts, "Who's there? Stay back!" The vortex attacks Frank, grabbing him by the throat, and he cries out in terror. Frank lies unconscious on the floor and the statue necklace lies nearby. The woman sits up in bed and whispers, "Ankh is an Amun." The woman's eyes glow and she states, "I'm coming, my love. Thanks for tuning in." Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.